Welcome to Secure the Bag Week 9 NFL Picks. It's your boy AW.
And your boy Strizzy. What's up, Slack fam?
What's good? We're back in the building, ready again to make our NFL picks for the week. Definitely want to say a big salute to all y'all that follow us, that rock with us. We appreciate you guys, whether you're watching later, watching now. You know what I'm saying? Say what's up to us in the comments. We love to have you guys interact with the show and drop a like if you could. That really helps us out. So how you feeling, brother? What's good for today?
I'm feeling good, man. I was cracking up. I saw something about like this week's matchups, and there's a lot of quarterback injuries, and you know what I mean. So like a lot of these matchups are like you just have no idea how it's going to turn out because there's just so many teams right now that got their backups back up in right now. You know what I mean? So should be an interesting week of football. I'll be surprised. I'll be a little curious on how everybody does this week.
Yeah, me too. It might be a weird one. A lot of like even matchups, a lot of weird matchups, like you said, as far as the injuries kind of coming to play. So I'm interested to see how we do as well. And y'all know we do recap every single week on the big show on Tuesday night. So join us for that. And then also we do have our own Yahoo competition, pick'em competition, and whoever wins each week gets a Super Bowl square. So don't be afraid to jump into that. Just hit our link in our bio or go to saylikeachamp.com and you can join in with that. And while we're at it, we got to give a shout out to Unc for last week. Angel did come through last week, 13-3, a really good week. And actually, he ended up tying you, Strizzy, but he beat you on the tiebreakers. So Strizzy, you are the man for this week for our show. You did have 13-3. Last week, 11-5 for me. So not so bad. And then the same Marcus and I tied for 11 wins. So not so bad, but we're going to put you up front in the hot seat, and you will lead us into our picks for this week. So you ready? You feeling good? All right, let's get it. Let's make it happen. We're starting off with tonight, Thursday Night Football. We got the Titans at the Steelers.
Yeah, man, this one's tricky. Both of these teams are very, very similar in like everything they do, right? But I'm going Titans in this one. Derrick Henry has I'm looking for a big breakout Derrick Henry game in this one, and I think it's going to be a little too much for him to stop tonight.
Yeah, on this one, I'm like 50-50, honestly. The Steelers have a great defense, not the best offense, but I'm actually going with them just because they're at home. I really like what I saw from Will Levis, and I do think that Derrick Henry will have a good game. But like you said, this matchup, two physical teams, two teams that lead with their defense. So it might be a low-scoring game, but I think it'll be a good one. I'm going with the Steelers at home in a little bit of a tricky one.
Gotcha.
Do you want to welcome in Pops to the show as well? What's good, Pops? He's going with the Titans in this one. So we'll see how that plays out. But, yeah, I don't know why. I just feel like every time I give up on the Steelers, they come through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I will say this. Derrick Henry has a habit of having just monstrous Thursday night football games. I think 3 out of the last 4 – he's gone like well over like 125, 150 yards, multiple touchdowns. So if he keeps that streak going, Steelers gotta flip the box a little bit. So we'll see.
I feel you. We'll see how that works out. That will be a good one tonight. And then Sunday morning in the early morning, we got a Germany game. The Dolphins at the Chiefs.
Yeah, this one is tricky, man. I feel like this is a what's it called game where we're expecting KC to bounce back. But I think Dolphins get this dub. You know what I mean? I think this is a bigger game for them as they beat up the weaker teams they played, and they've lost to the only 2 good teams they played. So I think they really want this. They're also looking for a Tyreek Hill revenge game.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm actually it's hard for me to pick the Chiefs to lose 2 in a row, right?
I know.
And I don't know what happened last week. Were they looking forward? Were they getting ready? Were they already had their bags packed for Germany? I'm not sure, but I'm also going with the Dolphins in this one. This will be a really good test for them, though, to see how they play against that Chiefs defense. And it's going to be a good test for us to see how good is that Chiefs defense. But I'm going with the Dolphins in this one only because I just feel like the Chiefs aren't ready to like have that high-powered output yet. I'll probably be wrong with all that being said, but we'll see. And like we talk about, it's always hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes. So
it is. But Dolphins got to come through, man. They've got their butts kicked by the two good. If they lose to the Kansas City Chiefs, which is very possible, they're no longer a real threat to me in the AFC.
Yeah, I feel it. And the weather hasn't even gotten like too cold yet.
I know.
So I do think that they will slow down. This one is kind of a must win for them. So it'll be interesting to see that over in Germany. I think this is the second Germany game ever. So that's all right. Moving forward, we got the Vikings and the Falcons.
Yeah, this one's tricky. I know the Atlanta Falcons are going with a different quarterback this week against Minnesota. They just got Dobbs from Arizona Cardinals, and I think I'm gonna stick with the Vikings. I think they just have a little bit more weaponry than the Falcons do.
All right, that's I think I'm actually going with the Falcons in this one just because they're at home. I think this will be a good game. But the Vikings, I just don't know if that rookie will be able to step in. I don't think Dobbs is ready yet. I don't think they will play yet. So we'll see. But I think that'll be kind of a tough-nosed football game. That should be a close, scrappy one. But I'm going with the Falcons in that one. So, Pops is going with the Vikings on that one. So, dang. So I'm against y'all on a lot of these. We'll see.
I like it.
Weird matchups. You know what I'm saying? So
I like it. I'm telling you, it's a weird dog. I'm telling you, it's a weird week, bro. We're gonna see a lot of weird ones.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And Unc, I want to welcome Unc to the building. We already gave you your props, Unc. I don't know if you heard it earlier, but great job last week. This week he's going with Atlanta, so we'll see if he's got the hot hand. Okay. Next up, we got the Bears at the Saints.
This one's tricky too. I think I'm still going to go with the Saints. I feel like the Bears are still kind of low key. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to do well this season. And I think the Saints are still trying to get right. They're trying to prove that the moves that they made this past offseason were the right ones. So I'm going with the Saints at home.
I agree. Saints do play better at home, and I feel like the scoring output will just be a little bit too much for the Bears to keep up with. So I am going with the Saints on that one as well.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Rams against the Packers. My bad.
Yeah, man. Love looked really good at the beginning of the season, man, and he just hasn't looked good since. Those first 2-3 games, I was like, okay, they're in good hands, but still early on. He got some some kinks to work out. But I like the Rams in a bounce back week.
Yeah, I'm feeling you. I'm right there with you. I got the Rams as well. Packers have just kind of been underwhelming. The Rams, even though they don't have the best record, they've been in all of their games and they've been playing really well. So I'm going with the Rams in that one. Pops is the outlier with the Packers at home. So we'll see how that one plays out. Next up, we got the Commanders at the Patriots.
Oh man, I'm going Patriots in this. I think Patriots get this dub. It's back in Foxborough. I don't know, man. I feel like this is Ron Rivera kind of like last game. I think if the Commanders lose, I think it's his last game as a head coach.
I can see that too. I'm going with the Patriots as well. I feel like their defense will just have the Commanders on lock. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of crazy that they kind of sold everything for Sam Howell, and I don't know if that's working out. So I do think there's going to be some consequences behind that if they're not looking sharp this weekend.
Yep.
Next up, we've got the Seahawks at the Ravens.
Man, I got Baltimore. They're rolling right now. If I'm being completely honest, I think they're the best team in the AFC right now. Ahead of the Chiefs and ahead of the Dolphins, if I'm being completely honest. And as long as they keep rolling, man, I feel like Baltimore's going to take this game too.
I'm going with Baltimore as well. I like Seattle, what they do, but they play better at home, especially on defense. Yeah. So I think that's just going to be a tough one, but it's going to be pretty cool. Another one of those battle of the birds type of situations. So I'm going with Baltimore at home too.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, starting that Lamar for MVP campaign.
I know, right? He's looking good.
Yep.
Next up, we have Tampa Bay at Houston.
I like Houston to get right back. They're going back home. It was kind of cool to see the first and second pick of the draft last week, especially because of the panic of the dub for me. But I think Bucks are kind of falling apart a little bit. I think Texans is still wanting to build off a pretty positive season so far. So I'm going Texans.
Yeah, this one's a toss-up for me. I'm going with Tampa Bay and a little bit of an upset. But I agree with you. Like, they need to get right too. And Houston has had a good season, so this could go either way for me. But something, I don't know why, I'm just feeling like I got to go with the Skulls on this one. Yeah, both Pops and Unc are with you on the Texans there. So, again, I'm the outlier. But I just know there's going to be a lot of those coin flip type situations this week. Yeah. I can see that being one of them.
So. Definitely. It's like history, it's on Buck's side, you know what I mean? So, they definitely they have a couple more weapons too, on the receiver end. But I don't know. I like what the Texans have done. I like what DeMarco head coach has been doing as well. So I like the Texans this year.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I'm definitely rooting for Ryans for sure. All right, next up, we've got the Cardinals at the Browns.
This game is kind of 50-50 for me too. I think I'm going to go Browns because they just got rid of their quarterback. I don't know. I don't think what's his face is starting yet, and this
Murray's
would be
not starting. No,
yeah, Murray's not starting. And if he was ready, this would be a horrible game to start him at. But I'm going the Browns. I think defense is going to be a little too much for the Cardinals.
I agree. Yeah, the Browns just have such a good defense that it really doesn't matter that Deshaun Watson's not there.
Yeah.
And that Nick Chubb isn't there too, right? They've been able to mask their offensive deficiencies with that good defense. So I'm going with the Browns for sure at home.
Agree.
Next up, we got the Colts at the Panthers.
Man, I'm keeping it going from last week. I think the Panthers really want this game. I think Reich, even though he'll never admit it, it's kind of a revenge game for being fired. So I'm actually rolling with my boys again this week. I think it'll be close, maybe another kind of like walk-off field goal, but I'm going with the Panthers again.
Got you. Yeah, I'm going with the Colts in this one. I'm happy for the Panthers to get off the snide, but I just don't know. I just feel like they're the more well-rounded team in this situation. But
Agreed.
Another close type of scrappy game. So I got to go with the Colts on the road, though.
No, you're good, bro. I get it, dog.
I feel you. Hunk is there with you, though. He's with the Panthers. So
I think we're trying to build something, man. They can't tank because they don't even have a first-round pick next year. Their pick goes to the Bears. So, they're just trying to get right, and hopefully they can build off that win from last week.
Yeah, I feel it. All right. Moving on, we got the New York Giants at the Raiders.
Oh, my bad. Man, another – I did Homa got hurt last week, didn't he?
Jimmy G?
No, not Jimmy G. They just benched him.
Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor. Didn't he get hurt last week?
Yeah. This is two going to be like unknown quarterbacks basically in this one.
You know what, man? Raiders went ahead and took a rookie this year in the draft. So let's see what the rookie got, man. I'm going with the Raiders in this one.
Yeah, for me, oh man, this is such a toss-up, right? Because the Raiders just fired, Mike, their head coach and their GM.
Yeah.
So is this going to be one of those like rally the troops type of game at home? Where you get that little bit of lift right after the coach gets fired, or are the Giants going to figure it out? I don't really know. I think I'm going to actually go with the Giants in this one.
Yeah.
Another one of those toss-ups, man. This is going to be either really good or it's going to be a bloodbath for me this week, man. I'm just going out on limbs left and right. But the Giants had a good win. What's that?
So Unc might be right. This could possibly be a tie.
They both stink. I could end up being a tie. Well, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't like either one. So now the coin flip is the Giants. I might have to switch up before the end of the weekend. before Sunday comes around. We'll see.
I know I need some more news.
All right, this is going to be a big one in the afternoon slot. We got the Cowboys at the Eagles.
Oh man, it was so tricky, man. The Cowboys looked so great last week, and eventually the Eagles definitely have to lose. And I think they're bye weeks next week, right? Eagles?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think the Eagles are gonna lose before their bye week, man. I'm going Cowboys in this one. I think it's gonna be tough though. It's gonna be tough. Eagles are still really, really good.
Yeah, the Eagles are really good, but I feel like they haven't totally hit their peak yet. Dallas, this is a big chance for them to build off of what they've done in the last few weeks and really, really put that 49ers game to bed. I just feel like it's going to depend on how the first quarter goes. If the Cowboys can get up, I think it changes the game completely. But if they're playing from behind against that Eagles offense, it's going to be really hard. But I'm going with the Cowboys in this one. I think that they do get it done. They kind of have a little bit more momentum right now. So I'm going with the Cowboys in a big one on the road. And really, this is big for the Cowboys as far as staying in that division race, right? They have to be able to at least split with the Eagles.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they get it done this weekend.
Yeah. If they can still the away game too, it's even better.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be a big performance for them. All right, moving into Sunday Night Football, this is going to be a good one. We got the Bills at the Bengals.
Yeah, man, this one's really tricky. It's so funny between these two teams as well as the Chiefs. It's like the Bengals have the Chiefs number, the Chiefs have the Bills number, and the Bills usually have the Bengals number. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually rolling with the Bills on this one. I think they're going to continue that trend. They're going to end up beating the Bengals this week.
It's like one of those rock, paper, scissors things, right? Where it's like all three got an advantage over one of the other ones, but they lose the other.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
I'm going with the Bengals in this one, though, because they're at home and because of how good Joe Burrow has looked.
Yeah.
I just feel like they've taken a step back this year. They still have the pieces, but it's just not quite as scary, I guess, or threatening as it has been in past years. So I'm going the Bills and the Bengals in this one. I'm sorry, but I do think it'll be a close one. I think it'll be.
The Bill, you're right. The Bills have definitely taken a step back. It's kind of crazy. It's like when they look really good, they look like they always look. You know what I mean? But when they don't look like that, they look really bad almost. Like they're not a top team in the AFC at all. So I know exactly what you mean, man. It's like there's no in between of like, okay, they had a slightly bad game at all. They're either really good or they play really, really bad, man. So they gotta figure some stuff out too. But I feel you.
Yeah, we're gonna see which Bills team shows up on Sunday night.
Exactly.
And then the last game of the weekend or week, we got Monday Night Football, the Chargers at the Jets.
Yeah, this was tricky for me. I am going to take the Chargers in this one. Jets have been riding pretty high. You know, they've gotten a couple games in, and they've lost some really close ones to arguably some of the best quarterbacks and teams in the league. I think it'll still be really close, but I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game.
Dang, another one where we're split. This is going to be so cool, man, to see this one. But I'm going with the Jets only because that defense and something's not quite right with the Chargers offense. Like, I'm kind of worried about Herbert because, you know, he's taking consistent steps forward every year. Yeah. But, you know, I just think this year something's a little bit off. I don't know if it's just the change in the offensive coordinator or what.
It's big time.
And it's like Kellen Moore, you know, he's supposed to be that boy genius. So we'll see. But I'm going with the Jets at home in this one, in a weird one. I know it's going to have to be very low scoring if the Jets are going to win, but yeah, that's what I'm going with. We're split in the comments on that one too. Unc says Jets Chargers for Pops with the plug there. So that's what's up. All right. So we made all of our money line picks for all of the games this weekend. Now we're going to move into betting against the spread. But we just want to remind everybody this is not actual betting advice. This is just our opinions about the games and just the thoughts that we might have. You know, money line is just picking who's going to win the game, but the spread considers that adjusted score. So if that's the favorite team and the line is -2.5, they have to win by 3 in order to cash your bet. All right, Strizzy, lead us off. What do you got for your locks of the week? Last week, the Panthers, you predicted that correctly. You were ready with them. Let's see what you got for this week.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'm going Panthers again, man. I want to see if they can get it done. You know what I mean? I think this is a big game for the coach. And I'm hoping that the Panthers themselves want to, you know, kind of rally behind him as well to get this win for him. It's another home game, I believe. So, like, you know, hopefully they can pick it up. And if they lose, let's hope it's for, you know, a point or two and they get that. I can get by with that half. So, but I'm hoping Panthers get the dub in general.
For sure.
Like I said before, this is going to be a really good game in general. It's a good division game between the Cowboys and the Eagles. But at +3, you know, with Cowboys being an underdog, I'll take Cowboys at +3 pretty much against anybody.
Feel it.
And then same thing kind of we talked about with the Rams too. I think the Rams are going to have a good bounce back game. They're going to get those receivers going. I'm looking for a big game from Cooper Kupp as well, as he kind of had a stinker last week with Puka having the crazy game as well as Atwell. So all on the underdog this week. So we'll see if they can get it done.
I like that. You know, the underdogs is where you get that value. You're getting the plus points.
Yeah.
So even if you lose, you might win. So I like that a lot. We'll hope to build off of that one bag from last week. Our brother Marcus couldn't be here with us today, but he did send in his locks. So we'll go over those real quickly. And last week he hit on the Dolphins as a big favorite. Great job there. And for the Jets, he actually got a push there. So we take that off the board. But hey, it's not a loss. So we'll give him the black and white logo. Just to let him know he didn't lose that one. Didn't win it either. But good job there with the Jets. This week he's got the Ravens at -6. Mm-hmm. I like that over the Seahawks. That's going to be a close game, but 6 is, you know, 6 they should be able to cover by a touchdown at home. Next up we got the Saints -8.5. And who are they playing again? That's a big spread for them.
It is. I forget, but it's a porous team, though, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I was like, dang, I can't believe we just did it, and I forgot that quick. Oh, it's the Bears. So, yeah, so if they get rolling like they did last week, I could see them going up. But 8.5 is a lot in the NFL. We'll see. And then he's got the Giants at +2. So he's kind of filling me on that Giants there against the Raiders. I know the Raiders are kind of a mess, so he's going with the Giants as well as the underdog. And then we'll move into mine last week. So last week, I didn't do so great on the pick'ems, but I did hit all 3 of my locks. So that's what's up. I actually had all 3 of these on a 5-team parlay. So that just goes to show you, kids, just stick with your heart, man. Stick with your heart. Don't make it too big. That's where you get in trouble. But I was able to hit on the Vikings, the Titans, and the Bengals last week. So I'll take those 3 bags and put them in my collection for the year. Well, that's what we've been looking for. And I'm trying to go for it again. I'm going with the Bucks in that kind of an upset. I don't know why, but just seeing them as that underdog is just kind of weird to me against the Texans. I do think they're going to find a way to pull it out, even though I love what the Texans are doing. I'm also borrowing that Giants one. I think that they're going to win outright in that game against the Raiders, even though, as Unc said, they both stink. So even a tie I'll take because I'll hit it on that +2. So even if they do end up in a tie, I'll take that. And then the last one, I was on the same track as you with the Rams at the +3. I think that they should be good to go in their game. And yeah, I think that's it. That's my 3 locks. I'm also going all underdog special with you, brother. So we're both on the underdogs this week. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But that's where we're at with that. And as always, oh wait, let me get this real quick. Look at our bye weeks real quick. So if you got the fantasy implications, make sure you get your boys out. I had to put down Christian McCaffrey this week, so that's gonna be a big hole in my lineup. We'll see how my boys do. And I did want to mention, man, the Jacksonville Jaguars heading into their bye week are looking really good, like where they're sitting. And it's kind of cool when you have that bye week that's a little bit later, so you get a little bit more rest. And yeah, they're prime. They'll come back prime for a good run in the South. So that's what's up. And then lastly, as always, we got to go over our records for full transparency. Moneyline is very, very close. And Strizzy, you caught up a little bit last week. And then Marcus and I are still tied. We both had the 11 last week, so I'm hoping to break that tie, but we'll see. But we're hanging in there, and we're both well over 500. So that's what's up. Looking for really like that 70% is good. And then on our locks, Marcus 3 and 8 because he had that push. So we're gonna take that one off the board, which is awesome, but it's gonna make it so hard for me to track later on. So I'm gonna keep trying to track it properly since he's a little bit off from the numbers from us. And then those 3 bags I picked up last week helped a lot. Moving up to 11 and 21. So
back to 50. That's what's up.
Yes, that's where we want to be at. But I'm just hoping, man. I'm like, dang, I'm gonna put my parlay for this week, and I'm only gonna stick to the 3 that we talked about today. I'm not gonna go over that.
There you go.
So we'll see how that plays out. But we did mention, some of the little news here as far as the Raiders firing their coach. That's it for him, man. He's going back into oblivion or back to New England. But we've already realized, it doesn't work for him anywhere but there. And then, of course, Kirk Cousins going down with the injury is that's really sucky for him because the Vikings were looking good in a good spot in their division, and he was having a really great year. So we'll see how the Vikings proceed without him. Any other transactions or news we need to talk about? And now the trade deadline's over, so that'll be good. But I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think nothing too crazy. Books back in the lineup tonight. I think for the Suns, so that'll be good for them. Get at least one of their other stars back. Braun doing crazy things at almost 40 years old, but do the Lakers really want him playing like that this early on at 38?
No, they got to get his usage down, but they have the injury bug a little bit, man. Once Rory comes back, he'll get some more rest, I think.
Yeah, true that.
Unc mentioned Bobby Knight. He's throwing chairs, man, somewhere. Where he's at, but that was some other news that came up. And we'll talk more about that for sure on the big show on Tuesday. So we will see you there, episode 219. We'll also talk about the World Series champion Rangers and the runners up, our hometown D-backs as well.
Yeah.
But until then, man, make sure you get your picks in. Make sure you get those fantasy lineups locked in. And we will see y'all next Tuesday for episode 219 of the big show. You waking up early to watch the Germany game?
Yeah, I think that's the game of the week. Well, one of the games of the week. I think Cowboys and Eagles are a good one too, but I feel like that's one of the games of the week you got to watch.
I'm the same with you. I'm like, man, like normally those games are like okay, or I'll wake up, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like halftime, and I'm just like checking it out. But for that one, that's a really good matchup. Yeah. I do want to see Tyreek Hill's kind of quote unquote revenge. So we'll see how he plays against his old team. Yeah. But that's what's up.
I think he definitely wants to show out. I mean, he wanted to stay there. They sent him an offer, and they were like, I'm worth more than that. So I think he got a little bit of chip on his shoulder for this game because, in his mind, they should have kept him. So
right. No, I feel that. And one other note about Hill, He is halfway to the 2,000 mark, halfway through the season. So we'll see if he can do that. I know that was his big goal for this year, and their offense has got it dialed up to where he is definitely moving the ball. So we'll see if that continues. But again, thank you guys for rocking with us. We appreciate it. Congrats one more time, Unc, for your Super Bowl square last week, and we'll see who takes the prize this week. Until then, it's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy.
Peace.